15th lesson. The United Kingdom in profile. From An Introduction to the UK.
The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, otherwise known as the UK, constitutes the greater part of the group of islands known as the British Isles, the largest of which is Great Britain, made up of England, Wales and Scotland. The 6 counties in the northern part of the island of Ireland are also part of the UK. There are several other islands, including the Isle of Wight and the Scilly Isles. England is the largest of the 3 countries, covering 2/3 of the total landmass. It goes from the tip of Cornwall up through the Cotswolds and the Midlands to the Peak District, the Yorkshire Dales and the Lake District, across the Pennines, the so-called backbone of England, and right up to the Cheviot Hills. This and the remains of Hadrian's Wall mark the 96-mile Anglo-Scottish border. Scotland is composed of the lowlands in the south and the highlands in the north. It also has around 800 islands, of which some 150 are inhabited. To the southwest of England lies Wales, made up of the mountainous north and the valleys and coastal plain of the south. It should be noted that neither the Isle of Man nor the Channel Islands are part of the UK. For administrative purposes, England is divided into regions and counties, many of which end in shire, Hampshire, for example. Scotland and Wales both have their own parliaments, but neither country is fully independent. In terms of population, there are 5 times more people in England than there are in the rest of the nation. The climate is generally mild and temperate, with frequent changes of weather, but no extreme temperatures. The mean duration of sunshine varies from 5 hours a day in the far north to 8 hours in the south. Despite the UK's reputation for wet weather, average rainfall is fairly low, and heavy rain is comparatively rare.
Exercise. Translate.
Women make up 40% of the workforce in the UK.
We watched the movie right through to the end.
A profile of the new Defence Secretary was published in yesterday's Times.
Services are the backbone of Britain's economy.
There are about 1,000 more people in the north of the county than in the south. Sixteenth lesson. This Sceptred Isle. From the Welcome to Britain Guide.
Welcome to one of the most enchanting, varied and dynamic countries in the world. A land of scenic splendour and a magnet for tourists from every continent. Go surfing off the craggy coast of the West Country. Meander through the timeless thatched villages of Devon. Don't forget to stop for a yummy Devonshire cream tea on your way, or enjoy the rolling hills and rural beauties of Somerset, which boasts endless sandy beaches and the smallest city in England. If it's picture postcard scenery you're after, the Cotswolds is a must-see region. This is classic countryside with unspoilt limestone villages, sturdy dry stone walls and handsome market towns. Head further north, where you will find shimmering lakes, fairy tale castles and mysterious moors. The Peak District, for instance, renowned for its wild scenery and crisscrossed with walking trails, is a heaven for nature lovers. Or cross over into Wales, famed for its rugged landscape and snow-capped peaks, but also its magnificent seashore. Travel north of the border and discover the breathtakingly spectacular landscapes of Scotland, with its heather-covered hills, fast-flowing rivers and majestic mountains. Marvel at the raw beauty of the mist-shrouded lochs and awe-inspiring glens. You could even camp on the banks of Loch Ness to catch a glimpse of Nessie. But there's much more to Britain than natural beauty, as if that weren't enough. From stately homes and towering cathedrals to village greens and half-timbered cottages, not to mention bustling cities, world-class museums and galleries, a thriving music scene and a vibrant youth culture. So, whether it's punting on the Isis, rambling through a national park, or just downing a pint in a friendly pub, you're sure to find something to suit your pocket and to keep you occupied, amused, and interested. If Britain didn't exist, someone would surely have to invent it.
Exercise. Translate.
They finished lunch and headed back to the office.
The village has a timeless air of stately elegance.
Whether you're upgrading the software or installing it for the first time, follow the same instructions.
Can you imagine? He downed 20 pints before the match.
The area around Stratford is crisscrossed with canals and is famed for breathtakingly spectacular landscapes.
Seventeenth lesson. A quiz.
Hello, and welcome to tonight's nail-biting final of the Brain of Britain quiz. Our two delightful contestants have their fingers ready on the buzzer, so let's get cracking with our first round. Place names. The first question's for you, Deborah. Which cities do the following people come from? A Geordie, a Brummie, and a Cockney.
I really ought to know that one, oughtn't I? Let me see. A Geordie's from Newcastle, and a Cockney's from London, but as for a Brummie, I haven't the foggiest. I'll take a wild guess. Manchester?
You're warm, but not quite there. No, a Brummie hails from the fair city of Birmingham. Amy, your turn. A host of place names in England end in B or ham. What do these endings mean?
That's easy. B comes from Norse and means village. And ham is an Old English word for a farm.
Well done. You score 10 points and take the lead. Deborah, may I call you Debbie?
I'd rather you didn't. I prefer it if you'd use my proper first name, if it's all the same to you.
Sure, no problem. Well, Deborah, can you tell me where the Garden of England is?
Oh dear, I haven't got a clue. I reckon it must be somewhere down south. Is it in Kent?
Actually, it is Kent. It's the nickname of that beautiful county. I'll give you 2 points. How about trying for a bonus question to catch up with Amy? Did you hear me?
You asked me whether I wanted to try for a bonus question. Yes, I do.
Very well. Listen very carefully to the wording. What is the longest river in England?
I wish I'd paid attention to my geography lessons in school. Is it the River Severn?
What a pity. It's actually the Thames. The Severn is the longest river in Britain. Let's hear it for our winner and our new Brain of Britain. Amy, congratulations! Exercise. Translate.
The championship came to a nail-biting climax last week.
Reporters quizzed the star about her marriage plans.
I'm sure that Blackpool isn't in Lancashire.
It is.
We found her building and she buzzed us in.
Can I hail a cab in the street?
I haven't the foggiest idea.
18th lesson. British humour.
A typical Brit works for a Chinese-owned company, drives a Japanese car, hangs out in Irish pubs, wears Italian-made clothes, eats Indian curry, and drinks German beer, uses a Finnish phone, watches American shows on a Korean-made television, and is suspicious of everything foreign.
The British are known for many things, but arguably their most endearing trait is their sense of humour. It has been argued that English weather is so bad that humour is needed just to make life bearable. Be that as it may, its key ingredients are self-deprecation, irony, nonsense, and above all, understatement.
For example, a swarm of bees was sucked into the engines of a passenger plane en route for South Africa. The pilot announced over the PA system,
Ladies and gentlemen, both engines have stopped and we're losing altitude. We're trying our utmost to get them going again. Meanwhile, I trust that you're not too upset.
or take this conversation between two foodies discussing the latest trendy restaurant to hit the high street.
The food was dire, the portions were tiny, the service was snooty, and the prices were eye-popping.
Oh, said her friend dryly. So you wouldn't recommend it then?
Another rich vein of humour in Britain is the rivalry between the three nations, which love to loathe each other. Many jokes begin with the words, there was an Englishman, a Scotsman, and a Welshman, or an Irishman.
Each country delights in poking fun at the other's perceived failings or foibles. For example, an Englishman says, I was born English, and by God, I hope to die English.
To which the Scotsman replies, Aye, I know, but don't you have any ambition at all?
But one thing the English are very good at is laughing at themselves, often saying outrageous things tongue-in-cheek. Such as, the English are moral, the English are good, and clever, and modest, and misunderstood.
But whether it's irony, dry wit, or a pithy put-down, humour is an essential part of British life. So remember, don't fret if your parrot looks dead. It's probably only resting.
Exercise. Translate.
Sammy loathes spending money on new clothes.
It is argued that global warming will lead to food shortages.
I know he was angry. Be that as it may, he should have been polite.
We're doing our utmost, but the situation is very difficult.
The refugees are living in dire straits.
19th lesson. Get away from it all. Extracts from the Weekend Breaks travel brochure.
Stuck for something to do this weekend? Want to get off the beaten track and away from the crowds? We offer an unrivaled service for the discerning traveller, with everything from package tours to tailor-made breaks. Meanwhile, here are a few suggestions to get you in a holiday mood.
For a touch of self-indulgence, try the Lanes, a truly tranquil hideaway with superb facilities. Set in some of the loveliest scenery in the county, this boutique hotel is a true gem. Unwind and recharge your batteries at the spa and let their expert staff pamper you. Chill out by the pool and order a refreshing drink from the fully licensed bar. If you're hungry, try Jasper's, where you can savour award-winning cuisine made with locally sourced products. For something a little less chic and pricey, the nearby grill serves up mouth-watering cooking in cosy surroundings.
If you don't fancy staying put, why not rent a car, or better still a bike, and tour the Yorkshire Dales? If pubs are your thing, then check out our latest finds. You won't be disappointed. The Red Lion serves great grub, washed down with one of their 20 or so real ales. The Royal Oak is a Tudor coaching inn turned gastropub that just oozes old world charm. A favourite spot for visitors and locals alike, it also attracts a sizable crowd at weekends. For a taste of old England, head for the delightful village of Malton, which is almost too cute to be true. If it wasn't for the cars, you'd swear you had gone back in time.
Culture vultures will head straight for the first-rate museum near the church. But most people are quite content to wander through the cobbled streets and gaze admiringly at the genteel houses. There are plenty of quaint tea rooms and a couple of upmarket bistros, but nothing at the budget end of the price range. Seen anything that takes your fancy? Call us now for a booking or a quote, or simply make your reservation online.
Exercise. Translate.
It's an old coaching inn with excellent facilities for children.
We're stuck and we can't find any information in the manual.
Our tailor-made products are aimed at an upscale clientele.
They didn't go surfing. They just sat on the beach and chilled out.
I really don't fancy going swimming in this weather.
'20th lesson. The North-South Divide.
So how do you find living down south, Brian? You must really like it.
Don't be daft. If it weren't for me job, I'd be back up north like a shot.
Oh, come on. Surely you don't mean that you'd rather move back to Yorkshire?
Too right I would. Folk here are far too snooty and unfriendly. I get really brassed off with people who think that the North Country is all flat caps and Coronation Street. I only wish they'd go and see what things are really like. They'd soon be laughing on the other side of their face.
But surely the North is not so affluent, people are less well off, and there's higher joblessness.
That may once have been the case, but things have changed radically over the past few decades. We've had urban regeneration, companies are relocating to northern towns and cities. The standard of living has improved, and the way of life is much more laid back. Anyway, this isn't exactly a paradise, is it? You can't find accommodation for love nor money. The cost of living is astronomical, public transport's a joke, and the pollution is so bad you can hear the birds coughing in the morning.
But you can't seriously be suggesting that you're better off than we are. Could it be that you're looking at things through rose-coloured glasses?
No way. And let me tell you another thing, you toffee-nosed southerner. Up north, we're down-to-earth, straight-talking, no-nonsense people.
Keep your shirt on. I was just winding you up. I know you're right.
You better watch yourself, lad, unless you want a kick in the teeth. Where I come from, he were a bloody southerner is a legal defence.
Exercise. Translate.
When I asked them for a loan, they laughed in my face.
Are you from London?
Don't be daft. I'm from up north.
He can't seriously be suggesting that Delroy is a good artist.
If he asked me to help him, I'd do it like a shot.
Half the households in the US will be unable to maintain their living standards in 10 years' time.
"21st lesson.
We're late. We had better leave very quickly.
Where do you want to go?
I have no preference. Give me an idea.
I want to go where not many other people go.
I'm trying very hard to find a suggestion.
If you tell me we're going to Scotland, I'll leave immediately. But if you're trying to make me angry, you will soon regret it.